In today's video, I'll show you how you can use ClickUp. So let's get started. First of all, is that you want to go here into clickup.com, and this is where you would be able to set up your account so that you can get started in using ClickUp. And from here is that you just simply want to click on login if you already have an account, or sign up if you haven't already. And don't worry, it's very easy. All you have to do is provide your details like your email, a password, and then after that, you can just go with a free plan first if you're not yet sure if you'd want to get the paid plan. And then after that, you should now be prompted in here into your homepage or your dashboard. So this is where you'd be able to see your overview of everything. And the first thing that you'd want to do is make sure that you have the workspace in here. So when you first log in into your ClickUp account, you'll be prompted to create a workspace. And this is where you could click on it on the top left, and you could go for the settings of your workspace, and then you could modify the settings in here. So there are a lot of very useful things in here. And next is that you could also go click here on people. So if you would now want to add your team, this is where you can invite them. So when you click on that, you can now click here on invite people, and then just simply provide their email address, and then they will be sent an email for invitation to be included into your workspace. And from there, they would now be able to join your workspace, and then you can now collaborate on working on projects. Next is that we have these spaces. So these are the sub workspaces here under your workspace, basically like that. You can click here on a plus button here on spaces. If you would want to add more spaces, you can add an icon, a name, and description. You can make it private. So if you want it to be exclusive with your team members, with some team members, you can definitely do it right here. So you can click here on add member, and then you'd now be able to select your members in here, and then you can click on continue. You could also use their templates so that you'd be able to not start from scratch and save time and effort when you are creating your space right here in ClickUp. And now in here in this space is that you also have the plus button. So this is where you can now create your task, your work, or whatever it is that you'd want to add to your space. Like for example, here I'm going to click on plus. Now I can create a list, a folder, a doc, dashboard, whiteboard form, imports right here from other apps. So you could integrate other apps in here, and then you could also go for templates if you'd want to. And as you can see, we have the template center here for the task that we would want right here. And then next is that another very useful feature is that we have the AI. So you could see that everywhere here on ClickUp. So in here, we could start with the top right one. So we have the AI icon right here. We could click on that. And now we would have this right panel for AI. So this is where you can chat with AI on what you would like to be done on ClickUp. Like for example, you would want to get help in creating an appointment, an event, a list, or maybe even a doc right here to be included into your space. So for example, I'm going to ask it to make a doc for me about my fitness journey in the personal space, which is the name of my space right here. So let's see if AI would be able to do that. I'm going to now send that. And now it's thinking. We just have to wait for a bit, and it will now have a prompt right here. As you can see, document has been created. And now we can click on this document right here, and let's see if it's really added into our personal space. And here's the document right here. Also here in the document is that you could highlight your text, and then you'd also be able to use AI, like you could improve it if you'd want to, and then you can just type in whatever it is that you'd want to improve in the text, or you could also go for edit, basically the same thing. You could also still ask the AI whatever you'd want to do. So you could go fix the spelling, the grammar, make longer, simplify, whatever it is that you'd want to do with your text. And now you'd be able to see that this doc is now added to the personal space as I have requested. Now you can go here into personal space, and then you should now be able to see it under doc. So it's right here. There it is. And now lastly for the AI is that we have the brain. So basically the same thing with the panel right here on the right side. You could also ask AI anything about it. right here that you'd want to do. And then you could see your past chat, so you could go back into it whenever you feel like you would want to continue your chat from there or continue your work. And next is that we have this one right here. So you could add attachment. You could go for mention. And then you could also go for all sources. And then you could also go for this one right here. You could search the web. So there would be citations and whatsoever. So yeah, that's it. And then next is the planner. So this is where you can add events into your calendar for this workspace. Like all you have to do is click somewhere here in the time and then the date. For example, here in Thursday 14th at 5 p.m. I would want to add an event. So here I can add a sample event, and then I can add a participant, add the description, the task that will be included in here. And then you could go for the task and then the focus time. And then you have more right here. So that's it. Basically, this is your can set your task on your calendar. And next is that we have the more. So this is where you can integrate different apps into your ClickUp. And then you can click here on invite. So this is basically a shortcut where you can invite people into your workspace. And then you can set the permission right here. And lastly is that you could upgrade your plan by clicking here on upgrade on the bottom left if you'd want to maximize your ClickUp features. So that's it on how you could use ClickUp. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.